Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your source for Second Amendment news. This is going to be a good video, but there's good news to start with, and then we'll get into the stuff that will enrage you. But this is the Monday Morning Grind, brought to you by Blackout Coffee. Thank you all for purchasing the Second Amendment blend, and because of the success of that, I have a new one for you. This is the 1776 blend. This is a dark roast. A lot of people have asked for a dark roast. I prefer a dark roast as well. This is something new starting today, Labor Day. I'll have a link in the description. You can use my code, will save you money. Also, don't forget it's Labor Day. Their sale is 20% off. You do Labor Day 20 on the Blackout Coffee website. It'll save you 20% off your entire order. And this is so new. I'm going to read you the flavor description. I'm not a coffee aficionado, but this is what it's going to be. Bold as a true patriot. Bold and aromatic dark roast coffee blend with a dark chocolate and honey lemon finish. Brew it as drip, pour over, French press, or even espresso. You can get it in ground or whole bean and grind it to your preference. So I have two coffees now. I can't even believe that. There's the original, the Second Amendment blend, and the new 1776 blend. Purchasing these directly helps this channel. Also gives you a fantastic coffee and a kick of caffeine when you need it. Thank you all. Blackout Coffee is run by a family that is very pro-rights, pro-Second Amendment. And we know from a video I did before, they got a little bit of heat because they support Guns and Gadgets. And not only has our support for our channel paid dividends, but now they're so behind the channel, we have a second blend. So check them out, guys. Medium roast 2A blend, dark roast 1776 blend. Everything is on sale if you get it on Labor Day. After Labor Day, you can still use my code and save you some money there. The link and the code will be in the description. Make it easy for you. Just click it. Thank you. Now, on to today's news. All right, everybody, we're here to talk about red flag abuse. I've been saying for so long, not just myself, but other YouTubers out there, other gun advocates, and other Second Amendment advocates, we've all been telling everybody who would listen how dangerous red flag legislation is and how dangerous it's already been and what it will do. And a lot of people, especially if they're anti-gun, they're for this stuff. They think this is going to fix the world. This is the elixir that will fix everybody's problems, mass shootings, people with ill intent, etc. However, just last week alone, I'm going to tell you about 3 instances where the red flag laws were abused and destroyed the lives of the people that were the subject of them. Now I have notes because this is specific and there's no way I could remember all the facts for each one. So bear with me if I read off this. I apologize, but I want to be accurate. This is all from the last 7 to 10 days of August, okay? So a Connecticut man whose name was Brandon Wagschel, who was 22 years old, was red flagged for sharing a meme. A meme he shared, and it was about the Alphabet Boys, DEA, ATF, FBI, coat hanger sears, and belt-fed Boogaloo toys. Now, if you don't know what the Boogaloo is, I might get red flagged for telling you, so look it up, but it's a shit at the fan type thing where you have to defend yourself against government. I also guess I should say disclaimer, because I'm talking about red flag scenarios that have proven bad for things that people say, I am in no way suicidal or intend to do any harm to anybody. I'm just simply reporting the news and the facts, and I'm going to use quotes. So if anybody, yeah, you know what I mean. So he shared this meme. He didn't author it. It wasn't even his. He just shared it. He didn't make any threats at all. However, someone viewed the meme as threatening and alarming. And because of that, he was red flagged and arrested and currently sits in jail on $250,000 bond, a bond that he can't even post until after his September 6th hearing. After. This is due process. Where is it? They said it was built into these laws, but we know that there isn't. So this guy has said he has had no desire for any type of mass shooting or anything like that. All the weapons seized from his home were legally owned and registered to his father. They're not even his guns. He doesn't even have guns. However, because he's in the same house and has access to them, the father lost his guns. The feds also took, illegally seized, because this is an illegal law, they took body armor, which is legal to own. They took a camo shirt, which is legal to own. Camo pants and a belt, all legal to own. A ballistic helmet, again, legal to own. Tactical gloves, a camouflage bag, and several computers, all legal to own. A red flag, supposed to be in the writing of this just for people who want to hurt themselves or others and have the direct means to do so. So they're taking all kinds of things that aren't even guns. All this over a friggin' meme. Now, the dad has to petition the court to get his guns back, which he might not get. And this kid was banned from the college he's attending. His life is ruined because of a meme. Whew. That's just the first one. The second one will make your blood boil. This is just a couple days ago. A former Marine in Portland, Oregon was red flagged after comments he made at a public Antifa protest. Shan Cofield, 32 years old, was not charged with any crime because he didn't violate any laws, but the police confiscated his weapons after he said, and I am using a quote, everybody, okay? His quote was at a protest that if Antifa gets to the point where they start killing us, I'm going to kill them next. I'd slaughter them, and I have a detailed plan on how I would wipe out Antifa. Now, Antifa is a group that constantly threatens people, constantly beats people to within inches of their lives, and nothing is done about it. Nothing. You know why? Because they're part of the propaganda, they're part of the left agenda, and they're helping to have guns removed from law-abiding citizens. Now, don't forget, Antifa had a huge call out to their members nationwide to start arming themselves. Maybe they should be red flagged. Now, as a result of this red flag, Cofield, who has served 2 tours of duty in Iraq, has been committed to a veterans hospital for 20 days, and he's been barred from participating in subsequent protests in Portland, Oregon, which is a direct violation of his First Amendment right, because you can't tell people they can't go to public protests because of protesting. So not only does the red flag law in Portland, Oregon violate and strip your Second Amendment, but it takes away your First Amendment for the rest of your life as well. And remember, this is all done without 1 red cent of due process. I also want you to remember that the federal government is pushing as hard as they can from every angle to get a federal red flag. The third one. A Florida man was red flagged simply because he had the same name as a criminal. He was stripped of his Second Amendment rights because the police failed to differentiate between a law-abiding citizen and a common street thug. Jonathan Carpenter received a certified letter from the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services suspending his handgun permit for, quote, acts of domestic violence or acts of repeated violations. He had to go to court in Osceola County, and they told him, go speak to the sheriff. So he goes to the county sheriff, and then he gets a copy of the injunction. And on this injunction, the plaintiff says that she rented a room to Jonathan Carpenter and his girlfriend. She alleged that Carpenter is a drug dealer who broke her furniture and sold her belongings without her permission. He had a gun, and she feared for her life and wasn't sure if the gun was legal or not. So this person's life was turned upside down, just like that, and there's a problem. Carpenter has never ever met the complainant, never lived at the address listed on the red flag or the restraining orders, and he looked nothing like the subject in question. The bad guy, Carpenter, the suspect that they actually are looking for, is 5'8", 110 pounds with black hair and is covered in tattoos. This Carpenter, the law-abiding citizen, is 5'11", 200 pounds and completely bald with a couple tattoos. Even though it is easily evident that they have the wrong man, he still had to forfeit over his handguns. There was no hearing or any court proceeding. And the kicker, in Florida, here's the kicker, his guns are to remain in the police custody until the plaintiff can say in a court of law that this is not the same guy. And currently, it's not even scheduled. Then, he has to petition a court to get his guns back, and he has to bear all costs involved. That sounds totally fair. Due process, my ass. This is just 3 instances from the last week and a half, and you know there are more. In fact, I'm going to start reporting on more of them because they're happening, and it's happening at a rapid pace now. This is a total end around the Constitution to unarm law-abiding citizens at all costs over completely false accusations. And there's no repercussion for the people who lodged them. Now, a question that I want everybody here who should be just as mad as I am, I want everybody to think of this. What happens to these 3 men, these law-abiding citizens, should they have to defend themselves, or the need arises where they need to defend themselves or others between now and their court dates. The government has let them down. The government has placed them at risk. We now live in a time where you have to prove your innocence in a country where you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. The whole Constitution, the Bill of Rights, everything has been flipped on its axis, and we are in a world of hurt, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't think that this will continue at a rabid pace, you're living under a rock. Please share this. This has to get out. I promise you, as soon as I hit upload and you see this for the first time, it will be suppressed on every platform for obvious reasons, because this is the downright truth on the red flag, and it's happened to 3 people in a matter of days. Please pass this along. Please thumbs up it so it gets higher into that algorithm so people actually see it. I appreciate the fact that you helped me get this out. Until we see each other again, this is Jared from Guns and Gadgets. Be safe, stay vigilant, and carry your weapons, and grab some coffee. Take care, everybody.